Hi, everybody. Welcome to Social Media Trends 2025. So, did we get it right in 2024? So, these were the trends we predicted last year. We've got most of them right, to be fair.
So, 6 out of 7 we got right, which is 86% success rate.
Okay, so what did we miss? We missed the blue sky boom. Wow. In the last 4 months of 2024, it just exploded because the platform is so much, it's like Twitter was when it was brilliant. The rise of threads. So yeah, we were right. We predicted the rise of threads. 300 million users. The TikTok shop takeover. Let's not doubt this. TikTok is massive. 100 million it did on Black Friday in the TikTok shop. And I reckon most of that is in my 12-year-old's bedroom. TikTok is a entertainment platform first. It's not about, it's about entertaining people. And Currys have used it to do that. So some examples of the things that Currys have done on their TikTok, which is completely different to all their other social media, but you'll see what I mean. And this first video ties in with Brat. Just watch what he does.
Brat Summer at Currys, my guys. Our offers hit different AF. This microwave ate and left no crumbs. If you've got guap, a pizza oven is peak flex. These are giving me life.
So let's get into 2025 then. What should we care about in 2025? Well, generative AI for content creation is still here. So generative AI, I've got a big argument about this. Like the amount of hype around AI, and my argument's this: the generative stuff is intern level. It is not better than what a copywriter, a PR, or yourselves can write. It's a good start for 10, but it's never better. I tell any of my staff, never post anything copy straight off the bat out of generative AI.
2024 was all about threads. It kind of absolutely climbed high in the app charts. But a lot of people, kind of industry commentators and based on our own research as well, are predicting threads is going to start plateauing in 2025. YouTube. So YouTube is not a new platform, and it's kind of been rumbling away in the background. At any one point, it's typically the second biggest search engine in the world. But really what we're going to see in 2025 is something of a renaissance in YouTube. And there's going to be a few kind of developments and changes in the way that people use the platform and new features they're introducing. 70% of YouTube users watch videos longer than 10 minutes, for example. And certainly that's our experience. We have a podcast, Embracing Marketing Mistakes. Each episode goes as a long form piece of content on YouTube, and we could be looking at 60, 70 minutes long. But the retention rates we get through that is extraordinary, and we're getting thousands and thousands of views for each of those videos. And there's a real demand for that kind of, really long form video content on YouTube. B2B brands with personality, we've called this one on LinkedIn. And this is less of a technology driven trend, more of a user driven trend. But really in 2025, what we're anticipating we see is a bit more of a laid back approach to content on LinkedIn, certainly from a brand perspective. So I think traditionally brands tended to be quite conservative with a small c and formal with their content, but we're going to see much more of a kind of a laid back content that kind of connects and drives engagement on this platform. Bigger is not always better, and brands are starting to recognize that. So brands, and certainly from our experience over the last 12 months, and this is going to be with us for the long term, brands are now prioritizing much more targeted, focused content as opposed to chasing from mainstream engagement from everybody. So this is about kind of creating more niche content that resonates with smaller specific audiences rather than chasing this mainstream engagement. Outbound engagement is brands dropping in on other brands, influencers, or indeed their customers on social media and posting proactive comments with the end goal of growing their audience and improving their engagement. And I think we've become quite used to seeing this from FMCG brands, the supermarkets like Aldi, M&S, Lidl, etc. They're big on it. But it's going to broaden out to lots of other brands. And I think other brands are starting to recognize, actually, we want to improve our engagement. We want to grow our communities, which is harder than ever to do. I think there's a misconception about Reddit that it's irrelevant, it's US biased, It's not really UK focused. I did a bit of research on it actually because I wanted the latest numbers, but something like 23 million people in the UK are active users, 1.2 billion monthly active users globally. It's huge. It's absolutely huge, and it's got a really good UK base as well. But what's most interesting about Reddit is that it when it comes to engagement, it beats Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok in terms of engaged users. So if people are on Reddit, they're likely to be super engaged. There's falling engagement across the board when it comes to social media, and the content landscape is massively oversaturated, and that's in part driven by AI, the fact that there's never been more content. So for a brand, cutting through is really difficult, to be quite honest. So probably in the last 6 to 12 months, and this is something we're going to see much more of, we're seeing what we call creative disruption, which is basically brands shifting their focus from strict brand consistency to very imaginative, bold challenger strategies. And this plays out in lots of different ways, but typically wild creative executions that make us laugh and get us sharing things. AI casts a long shadow on 2025, generative AI for content creation. One of the bonus trends is AI for strategy as well. Look at Blue Sky. It's going to be big in 2025. YouTube renaissance, certainly from a long form content perspective. Have some fun on LinkedIn. You don't need to have kind of rigid brand guidelines. Look niche as well as macro when it comes to engagement and social media content. Be proactive with your engagement, outbound engagement. Definitely consider Reddit from a paid perspective, and let's be disruptive when it comes to creative. We have got a product called the Social 360, which essentially is a strategy in the box, and it's a really good way to kind of review where you're at, what your competitors are doing, where your customers hang out, and basically build a strategy on the back of that, which can incorporate many of these trends and many of these platforms. So we offer the 360 Plus, which is a channel strategy and competitor audit. We then develop a year's strategy for you with some content ideation, and then if appropriate, we can deliver that. So we offer packages. It starts at around £5,500. A really good tool if you're thinking of refreshing your strategy. You might be overwhelmed. I hope not. What we would say you need to do if you're interested in any of these trends, revisit your social strategy. So if you're the 55% of people that haven't done that for a year, now is the time to do that. Refresh your audience personas. That will have changed. They will be on new platforms. There'll be new emerging demographics. And then ultimately look at kind of match some of these trends against those insights you get from your audience. So test and learn first of all. You don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater and go all in, drop every channel and just do Blue Sky. Test and learn. Try one or two things and then measure the effectiveness of it. And then you can start to scale. So that's the approach we would say. You don't need to kind of do everything all at once. Look at what your audience are doing, get that customer understanding, and then test and learn some new activities.